I'm going to give a summary of the Friday sermon delivered by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah strengthen his hand, which was delivered on June 1st in London, England. Hazur started off his khutbah, his sermon, reciting chapter 4, verse 37 of the Holy Quran. It reads as follows, quote, "And worship Allah and associate not with Him, and show kindness to parents, and to the kindred, and to orphans, and to the needy, and to the neighbor who is a kinsman, as well as the neighbor who is not a kinsman, and to the companion by your side, and the wayfarer, and to those whom your right hands possess. Surely Allah loves not the proud and the boastful." Hazur stated that if believers firmly abided by these commandments, they would promote peace and tranquility in their respective communities. He further stated that this verse holds several commands through which the message of peace and security can be delivered to others. The first commandment is to worship the one true God and uphold His unity. This is fundamental to Islam and is the fountain from which all morality flows. Second, one is to honor the rights of mankind, the foremost of which is to show kindness to one's parents. Hazur said parents should be heedful that their children will be like those who abide by the teachings in this verse. In other words, parents who bring up their children fostering peace and security will in return receive the very kindness spoken of in this verse. Chapter 46, verse 16 in the Holy Quran talks of children's responsibilities to pray for their parents, as well as their responsibility to pray for their own children once they become parents themselves. The verse reads as follows, "We have enjoined upon man to be good to his parents. His mother bears him and brings him forth with pain, and the bearing of him and his weaning takes 30 months, until when he attains the full maturity and age of 40 years, he prays, 'My Lord, grant me that I may be grateful for the favor you have bestowed upon me and my parents, and I may do such righteous deeds as may please you, and establish righteousness among my progeny for me. I do turn to thee. Truly, I am one of those who are obedient unto thee." End quote. Third, Muslims are enjoined to be kind to kindred or close relations. Hazur explained this category includes both maternal and paternal families, as well as the relatives of one's wife or one's husband. One is enjoined to honor their rights and to respect them. Hazur said a great deal of Ahmadis face opposition from their own families because they have accepted the promised Imam of the age. In such cases, it is all the more important to abide by these lofty principles of kindness as we become the representatives of the promised Messiah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. Fourth, kindness and care to the orphans and the needy is incumbent upon all Muslims. Oftentimes, this group is viewed as society's weakest target. And when these unfortunate ones get exploited, it is a failure of their communities in carrying out the trust that Allah has placed upon them. Unfortunately, in some third world countries, orphans and neglected children are taken in by exploiters and brainwashed in radical Islamic madrasas. They then act against communal peace and harmony by becoming a source of chaos and even to the degree of becoming suicide bombers. Fifth, the Quran enjoins Muslims to show kindness to neighbors, whether they are related to them or not. True servants of God are distinguished when they treat strangers with kindness and consideration, asking for nothing in return. Hazur related the words of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, in which he said that so much emphasis was placed upon being good to neighbors that he wondered if neighbors were to have a share in one's own inheritance. The promised Messiah, peace be upon him, was very liberal in how he defined his neighbors. He stated that one's neighborhood may stretch as wide as 100 miles. Sixth, the verse enjoins Muslims to show kindness and compassion to travelers or wayfarers as well. In short, not even the slightest opportunity to dispense kindness and goodwill is to be missed in the teachings of Islam. This is the true essence of Salam, promoting peace and security to all of those around oneself. Seventh, The commandment speaks of kindness to employees and servants. The promised Messiah, peace be upon him, said all living creatures that are in one's possession should be shown kindness and compassion. In conclusion, the verse declares that Allah does not like the arrogant and the boastful. One who does not abide by these commandments cannot truly be a servant of God, but rather is truly a servant of Satan. Arrogance creates a barrier between man and the discharge of his obligations to both God and his fellow creation. Hazur said, "It is to our good fortune that we have accepted the Imam of the age. It is incumbent upon us to reflect on the message in this verse and work towards being the true servants of God." He ended praying that Allah perfect our faith and look upon us with pleasure and take us out of all troubles, and that we may experience God's forgiveness and His grace. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum.